Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you the top 5 books that I'd like to get to this fall. The first book that I'd like to get to this fall is Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. Enchantment of Ravens is set in a world that has both human and fae creatures alike. Fae creatures are an immortal type of being who are not able to produce any type of human craft. Whether it's baking, painting, writing, they crumble to dust the moment that they try, so they crave human craft with an immense thirst. And the story follows Isabel, who is a painter, and Isabel gets her first royal client, Rook, the Autumn Prince, and when he commissions a painting for her, she makes the fatal mistake of painting mortal sorrow into his eyes, which is an immense weakness in the eyes of the fae. Rook takes Isabel back to his kingdom to stand trial for her crime, but in the midst of all this intrigue and being attacked on all sides, they end up having to work together in order to save his kingdom. And in the meantime, some romance blossoms. I've heard some amazing things about this book, and I've had it on my shelf for quite a while, so I'm really excited to get into it. I love stories of magic and fantasy all times of the year, but especially in the autumn, and I feel like stories with fae folk are just perfectly suited for the season, so I'm very excited. The next book that I'd like to get to in the fall is Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart. Grace and Fury is set in a fantasy world in which women have no rights whatsoever, and it follows two sisters, Sierra and Naomi. Sierra has been groomed her entire life to become a Grace, which is the person that sits next to the heir of the kingdom as the perfect example of a subjugated woman. But in a classic turn of events, her younger sister, more rebellious sister, Naomi, ends up catching the eye of the heir and is chosen to be his Grace, while Sierra takes the fall for a secret Naomi's been carrying around their entire life. She's sent away to Mount Ruin to fight to the death against other women who are stronger than her, while Naomi has to embrace her role as a Grace in order to use her power to save her sister. I've heard this story is a great tale about sisterhood and determination in a world that is determined to bring you down, and I'm so excited to give it a go. The next novel that I'm excited to read in the fall is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. Spinning Silver is supposed to be a loose retelling of Rumpelstiltskin set in a Russian-inspired world, and it follows the story of Miriam, who is the daughter and granddaughter of a money-lending family that has gotten very far into their debts, and in order to save the family, Miriam learns how to spin silver into gold. An unfortunate boast makes it so that Miriam catches the eye of the unnamed king of the Starek, I don't know quite how to say it, the fae creatures in this world, and the king ends up setting an impossible task for Miriam to complete, but if she doesn't do it, it'll mean the fate of both the human world and the fae world will come crumbling to dust. I've heard Spinning Silver is a great retelling, and I'm so excited to get a hold of it. I haven't read very many fairy tale retellings in the last little while, and Rumpelstiltskin is one of my favorites, so I'm very excited to get a hold of it. The next book that I'm excited to read in the fall, especially around Halloween time, is The Dreadful Tale of Prospero by Alexandra Bracken. Prosper is considered to be one of the most unexceptional members of this family until it is revealed that there is a demon living inside of him. Turns out one of Prosper's great-great-great-something grandfathers made a deal with a malefactor, a demon that imposes immense wealth for eternal servitude, and then subsequently broke that deal. And the demon, Alistair, is centuries old and does not take being swindled well, and is determined to ruin this entire family through Prosper. Prosper, with the help of his long-lost uncle Barnabas and his daughter Nell, a witch in training, find out they only have 3 days to expel this demon without ruining his entire family. And so Prosper embarks on this incredible journey to try and save himself and his family. I've heard this story is funny, I've heard it is spooky, I've heard it's the perfect Halloween time read, and I'm very excited to get into this middle grade book. I haven't read middle grade since the last time I read a Rick Riordan book, and I've heard it's incredible, so I'm very excited to get into it. Finally, the last book that I want to get to this fall comes out on October 23rd, so I don't actually have a physical copy of it, but it is Kingdom of Ash, the last book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I am so incredibly excited for this book to come out. I'm going to cry so much. I can already see it. It has to be an absolute beast of a book because there is so much that I feel still needs to happen, and it's the last one, so I don't know how on earth Sarah J. Maas is going to end up resolving everything in this last book, but I'm very excited to devour it the day that it comes out. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like this video and comment below with the most anticipated book that you're excited to read this fall. If you'd like to see more videos from me, I upload every Monday and Friday, so please subscribe, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.